tea leaves accumulate more fluoride from pollution of soil and air than any other edible plant. Fluoride content in tea has risen dramatically over the last 20 years, and so has tea consumption, especially green tea. The produce company, Dow, has announced that it wants to spray its vegetables with fluoride. A study done by Maureen Jones and David Kennedy, DDS, past president of International Academy of Oral Medicine and Toxicology, has found fluoride in beverages. As mentioned in the previous article from the dictionary, it states that drinking excessive amounts of fluoride can cause the body major damage. And since it is in toothpaste, drinking water, tea, beverages and in antidepressant drugs, how does a person to know how much they are ingesting? Some people have serious reactions to it, and yet the government medicates the entire nation's water supply just because it is known to prevent tooth decay. Something is just not right here.
Edward L. Bernays is regarded by many as the father of public relations. He was born in Vienna, Austria. Bernays was the nephew of Sigmund Freud. Bernays pioneered the use of psychology and other social sciences to design public persuasion campaigns. He published several scholarly works, still used in universities worldwide today. And he also spearheaded the national campaign to fluoridate the water supply of America through the Fluoridationist of the Public Health Service.
This is one pollutant that we capture in the phosphate fertilizer industry, and having captured it, we can't dump it into the sea, but we put it into our own drinking water. It's extraordinary.
Fluoride in our water supply is a very real and ever-present risk to our population at large.
Dennis, let's make sure we're clear on this. Fluoride, it is in tea, it's in coffee, it's in water, it's in bread, it's in toothpaste, but it's actually a poison, right?
It sure is, and here's the quickest evidence. Go to your bathroom and pick up your toothpaste, and you'll see a warning that if a child swallows more than a pea-sized amount of toothpaste, call poison control.
Wow.
The protected pollutant status that fluoride enjoys within EPA and other federal establishments is remarkable, as the charts over here show.
Last November, concerns over excess fluoride prompted the American Dental Association to warn parents not to mix baby formula with tap water during an infant's first 12 months.
Phyllis Mullenix found that fluoride in very modest doses produces effects in laboratory animals resembling attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder.
He says, "Do you have any idea what you're saying?" And he says, "You're telling us that we're reducing the IQ of children." And basically I said yes.
Scientists like Nobel Prize winner Arvid Carlson and a large group of EPA scientists have called for the banning of fluoride because we don't know how much we're ingesting, so we don't know if we're being poisoned.
Fluoride can also build up in the bones to cause pain, stiff joints, and skeletal abnormalities when they get older.
It's a cumulative poison. It just gradually builds up and it gradually causes harm.
Do you know when fluoride was first put in drinking water? In the Nazi concentration camp. Stands back in amazement, can't believe it. This is Charles Perkins, a chemist who wrote to the Lee Foundation for Nutritional Research, Milwaukee, Wisconsin in 1954, and this is what he wrote. In the 1930s, Hitler and the German Nazis envisaged a world to be dominated and controlled by a Nazi philosophy of pan-Germanism. The German chemists worked out a very ingenious and far-reaching plan of mass control, which was submitted to and adopted by the German General Staff. This plan was to control the population in any given area through mass medication of drinking water supplies. By this method, they could control the population in whole areas, reduce population by water medication that would induce sterility in women, and so on. In this scheme of mass control, sodium fluoride occupied a prominent place. That's what it's about.
We're developing a society because of all of these different toxins known to affect brain function. We're seeing a society that not only has a lot more people of lower IQ, but a lot fewer people of higher IQ. In other words, a dumbing down, a chemical dumbing down of society. So everyone's sort of mediocre. That leaves them dependent on government because they can't excel. We have these people of lower IQ who are totally dependent. Then we have this mass of people who are going to believe anything they're told because they can't really think clearly. And very few people of very high IQ who have good cognitive function who can figure this all out. And that's what they want. So, you can kind of piece it together as to why they are so insistent in spending so many hundreds of millions of dollars of propaganda money to dumb down society.
A PhD thesis just published in Carey's research entitled Fluoride Deposition in the Aged Human Pineal Gland says fluoride added to the water supply and so by Walmart in its nursery water has a tendency to accumulate not only in developing teeth, causing discoloration, and in bones, making them brittle, but also accumulates in the pineal gland, an important hormone control center where it causes considerable havoc. In the U.S., the FDA has decided that fluoride should be allowed in bottled water. Paul Comet of Fluoride Action Network comments that fluoride is a poison, yet we add it to our water and toothpaste. The Germans and Russians during World War II both used fluoride to make prisoners stupid and docile. Comet says that the research from Jennifer Luke's PhD thesis on fluoride and its accumulation in the pineal gland might just be, quote, the scientific straw that breaks the camel's back.